up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. I'm hanging out in the beer shed today, freezing my butt off, getting ready to check out a new beer. Now, before anybody says anything, Anderson did bring one of these propane heater things, but I'm just getting a couple videos in, so I didn't think it was worth firing that bad boy up in the shed today. Anyway, the beer I have today is called Peppermint Chocolate Sharing Size, and this is from Free Will Brewing out of Perkasie, Pennsylvania. So before I begin, special shout out to my man Wayne Allen for sending this beer out to me. Wayne is on one of the Facebook groups I'm in, and he also watches the videos and comments. He sent me out a few beers over the past year or so, and usually they come through. He sends some bangers. Now, this one is a little different. He had tried this one and said he wasn't a big fan of it, says it was a bit too heavy on the peppermint for him. So I'm kind of, excited to see what this thing tastes like. Now, I've got to say, Free Will Brewing is in Perkasie. If you're not familiar with that, it's kind of, kind of a suburb of Philly. It's in Bucks County, which is one of the surrounding counties. But I think Perkasie is a little further north. So Philadelphia kind of lays diagonally across the river. I guess if you go straight north, you'd run into, I think it's Bucks County, and up there would be Perkasie. Now, I know my buddy Steve has said so many great things about this Free Will Brewing over the years, but I've never had the opportunity to try any of their beers. So obviously they're a smaller Pennsylvania brewery. They're not shipping stuff out to Northwest Ohio. I think we're rarely on the list of places to send beer to for new breweries. But every once in a while I find something cool. And this time Wayne come through and sent me this. So thanks again, Wayne. Now, this is a Peppermint Chocolate Imperial Milk Stout, which sounds like it is exactly along the lines of the beers that I like. I'm a fan of the milk stouts. I like them kind of sweet milk stouts. I think they're absolutely delicious. Many of them kind of have a chocolate milk vibe to them. Now, usually it's not something I'd want to session. I don't want a bunch of them. But if you want to just have like a nice beer on a cold day, you could do a heck of a lot worse than a nice milk stout, especially an imperial one, which means they dialed up the ABV. So this one is 10.8% ABV. I couldn't find anything on the IBUs. Ratings-wise, this does pretty well. Untappd a 4.11, although there was only about 800 check-ins. And Beer Advocate a 4.1, so almost identical scores, although there were only 5 written reviews. Now, the can art on this is kind of interesting. Looks like a cat dressed up like, William Penn or something, some kind of colonial era figure here. Maybe he's a witch. It's a black cat with a broom, so maybe it's a witch from that era. What else does it say on here? Not a lot. Just kind of says brewed and packaged, Free Will Brewing, Perkasie, Pennsylvania. 10.8% ABV with peppermint, cacao nibs, and milk sugar. What do I think this is going to taste like? Like it says, right? Peppermint and chocolate. Now, again, right up my alley. Absolutely love that flavor pairing. So I'm hoping that this hits a little better for me than it did for my man Wayne. So, are we going to go over? Yep. All right, couldn't let it get all over the table. That'll wind up freezing. Now, as far as color, that's black. I break out the SRM chart. This is 39 or 40. It's up at the top there. I'm holding it out to the light. Can't see a damn thing through that. That's blocked off all light coming through. But it looks nice. This is what I want in a stout, right? Head, it's kind of brown. I'd say 2 fingers or so, maybe a little bit more. When it poured, initially, I was looking at it and thinking, I'm not digging the look of the head on this thing. But now that it's kind of settled and done its thing, it's not a nitro beer, but now that it's settled, it looks quite nice. Now, the head, when you look at it, it's tiny, tiny little tight bubbles here. On the top, you see the bigger bubbles, and it looks silky and smooth. It honestly kind of looks almost like a Guinness, the Bishop's collar on a Guinness to me. Although obviously the color is a little darker. That's more like of a creamish white, where this is more like tan. But the look of it is quite nice. So, not too bad. Let's give it a sniff. Peppermint patty. Peppermint patty. Not Gen Sake. I'm talking about the candy, right? Yeah, peppermint and chocolate, which is what I kind of expected it to smell like. Now, one thing I will say is I did fear that the peppermint smell might be kind of over the top. I really quite dig peppermint. I grew up with peppermint growing in my aunt's yard. So I've always liked the smell and the taste of peppermint, whether it be ice cream or candy or pairs well with chocolate, whatever it is. I kind of like peppermints. That being said, sometimes when you get candy and it's kind of over the top with that artificial peppermint taste, immediately off-putting for me. So I'm glad the nose wasn't too over the top with the peppermint. Now, I've only sipped a tiny bit of the foam there, so I don't know that I really got a great taste of it, but let's dive in and see what this one tastes like. Cheers. Now, first thing I will say is the body is what I want it to be. There's nothing more I hate than when you get a stout, especially like a big stout, and you drink it and it tastes like a brown Coors Light, right? A dark Coors Light, and the body is just not there. This is full body. This has a nice texture to it, nice and smooth. Really enjoy that. As to the taste, I think the taste kind of follows the nose. It's a peppermint patty. That being said, I don't think it's that overpowering. Now, I know Wayne said he thought it was a bit too much on the peppermint. I'm not sure, if he likes peppermint or how he feels about it. I am a big peppermint fan, so maybe it's not bothering me as much because I kind of like that taste. But to me, this tastes like chocolate, mint, and then you get kind of the sweetness. I know it's a milk stout, so you have that lactose. And usually I think when you talk about the chocolate in these, people will say it's dark chocolate or milk chocolate or kind of describe the chocolates. To me, the difference is usually lactose. If you have the lactose in it, it's sweeter and I think has more of like a milk chocolate kind of taste. Where if you don't, it's kind of, usually I think it's kind of like a drier taste and a little more bitter, like a dark chocolate kind of thing. This, I think, it comes through, and it's definitely sweeter, and the lactose is in there. That being said, the peppermint is pretty pronounced. So I think that would probably be the deciding factor on this beer, kind of how you feel about peppermint. To me, as a fan, I love it, no problem for me. If you're not, like, Wayne said he thought it was a bit too heavy, then this probably isn't the beer for you because you definitely know the peppermint's there. But for me, all things considered, really enjoyed this one. Thanks again, Wayne, for sending it out. And, I think one of the other things that's great about this beer is it shows different people have different palates, right? I mean, there's beers that I like that you might not. There's beers that you like that I might not. And it doesn't mean anything. We don't have to scream and yell at each other and tell you you're wrong or I'm wrong or you suck, right? It's just different palates, different flavors, different people dig different things. One man's trash is another man's treasure, I guess. So thanks for sending this one out to me, Wayne. I really enjoyed it. And again, for the first beer from Free Will, I'm quite excited to try this, and I hope to try some more of their offerings in the future. I hope to get out there this summer, maybe. Got to get on a Philly run and head out. It's been too long since I visited my town and my people, so maybe a road trip is in order. Maybe we'll get a Winnebago and do a road trip beer video vlog or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But for what it's worth, peppermint chocolate sharing size, Free Will Brewing, big thumbs up. Quite enjoy this one, and I want to try some more of your guys' beer. I saw you're shipping to some states, but I didn't see Ohio on the list yet. Come out to Ohio. I'll buy some of these beers. Hey, till next time. Cheers.